The Honda Ridgeline just got all up. I said trucked up. The Honda Ridgeline has been updated for 2024 and is now available in this new off-roady TrailSport trim, which features an off-road tuned suspension, general grabber all-terrain tires wrapped around 18-inch wheels, skid plate for the oil pan, all-weather floor mats, orange stitching, orange logos, and orange ambient lighting for the interior. As with all Ridgelines, it comes standard with all-wheel drive and a 280 horsepower, 3.5-liter six-cylinder engine, which is matched to a 9-speed automatic transmission. Prices for the Ridgeline start at $41,125, with the TrailSport checking in at $46,355. Ridgeline is made in Lincoln, Alabama. It was actually named the most American-made pickup by Cars.com last year, based on where it's made, who makes it, and where the parts come from. And this comes with plenty of parts. It has standard power folding mirrors, a windshield with heated wiper parking areas for when it gets icy, a full suite of electronic driver aids, including adaptive cruise control, automatic emergency brakes, and a blind spot monitoring system. And while the infotainment system isn't exactly cutting edge, it does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto smartphone integration, and you get a wireless charging pad. The Ridgeline is built on the same platform as the last generation Honda Pilot and has basically the same interior, at least up front, where it's very roomy and comfortable. But in the rear, things are a little more snug. On my 6'1" scooch test, where I see how I can fit behind myself with the front seat set comfortably for me, my knees are a little tight. But this is pretty much the case with every mid-size pickup. This does come with the bonus of a floating seat bottom that you could store things under or fold up to fit tall things like bikes. One of the other big changes is that they've stamped the name Ridgeline into the tailgate to make it look like a big old truck. And while that tailgate can open normally and hold 300 pounds, it also swings out like a door to make it easier to reach the bed and the trunk that's in the floor of the bed, which is waterproof to car washes and rain, but can also double as an ice chest, which seems kind of opposite. And there's a drain for when things finally melt. One trade-off for having the trunk is that the Space Saver spare tire is in it, which can be a problem if the bed is full. And that bed can be pretty full because it's 50 inches between the tiny wheel well, 60 between the walls, and 64 inches long, which extends to 83 inches with the tailgate down. The all-wheel drive system has torque vectoring, and the traction management system settings for normal, snow, mud, and sand. And you'll notice not rock, because this is the TrailSport, not the Rock Sport, and it only has about 7.5 inches of ground clearance, which is less than you get in most Subarus and even the most off-roady versions of the Bronco Sport. But if the trails are flat, it's good to go. Forget if I mentioned this has an independent suspension. It does, the only one in the mid-size pickup class, which gives it by far the best on-road ride and a great ride out here, again, as long as the road doesn't get too rough. And as long as you're patient, it can handle some decent-sized bumps. Go a little fast, though, and you might bottom out. Otherwise, the traction is fantastic, although the sand setting does let you get loose and swing that tail around a little bit. As far as the truck stuff is concerned, this has a payload rating just over 1,500 pounds and a towing capacity of 5,000 pounds. Both of those figures totally on par with the competition until you get to the max towing packages. Although it has been updated along the way, this generation of the Ridgeline has been on sale since 2017, and it doesn't really have an advantage on the fuel economy front over today's mid-sized trucks. Most trims are rated at 24 highway and 21 combined, while the TrailSport drops to 23 highway and 20 combined thanks to its off-road gear. Nevertheless, if you're in the market for a lifestyle mid-size pickup, not a commercial one, although I do see these getting to work now and then, given how comfortable and spacious this is and the utility of the trunk, I think this should be first on your list when you go shopping. Then you got to ask yourself, do I need to carry more than 1,500 pounds? Do I need to tow more than 5,000 pounds? Or really 4,000 pounds? I have an 80% rule when it comes to truck capability. And of course, do I really need or want to do serious off-roading? Where some people live, that is a necessity, and deep snow is a concern. But if none of those things are a concern, and you're going to be using this as a family vehicle as well, I think it might be the one. And look, it's still plenty of fun.